Okay, now we are beginning in earnest. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the first Patreon Q&A live stream for TV's Kevin Lanigan. I am so thrilled to be doing this Q&A. I was well and truly bowled over by the support that my campaign has gotten in the first month. I earnestly did not believe um, that I would be getting this kind of money. You know, it's not world changing money, but right now it is helping me get by in the day to day. And I truly appreciate that from all of you. So thank you so much for that. Welcome to the first Patreon reward stream. This is the Q&A. I'll just be playing some Overwatch Deathmatch so that you have something to look at while I'm talking, while I'm answering any questions that might arise from the good patrons that I have acquired in the first month, or am just sort of talking randomly over Overwatch. You know, you never know with this thing. We could be going in any sort of different direction here. I'm just gonna do some quick maintenance stuff, so you're about to see kind of how the sausage is made here. Yes. So we are doing all right. So the stream health is good, but I do not know why the stream is offline. Good. Oh, good Lord. Let's approach this from a different side, because again, I do not know why the stream would not be showing the thing that it is supposed to be showing. It knows that it's on. So this is very confusing. Welcome to the wonderful world of troubleshooting live gameplay, live on the show. So if I go to my channel, it should say, and you're about to get a peek behind the YouTube wall here. And yes, of course, it is not saying what it is supposed to be saying, because nothing about this stream is working the way that it is supposed to be working. But I am endeavoring to fix that as quickly as possible. So bear with me here. Give me some time to work on this. Now why would it not?
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Jacob. Didn't know that you were gonna make it, so I'm glad you're here.
Yep, just barely made it under the wire.
That's okay.
I'm
Yeah.
like 10 minutes late.
Oh, you're fine. I was a few minutes late myself because of some technical difficulties that seem to still be going on. So, I am working on it myself. Because I can't get.
All right.
It says I'm live, but I can't get it to acknowledge
Here,
anything or stream what I'm supposed to be streaming or anything like that.
All right.
Yeah. Here, let me post the link in the
All right,
Discord for you, so you don't have to like go hunting for it.
I already have it open.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. And is it saying that, is it showing my screen? Is it doing anything? Because it's definitely not doing anything on my end.
All right. Says this video is unavailable. Do you have the video set to private or hidden?
I have it unlisted so that
Okay.
But okay, we're just gonna troubleshoot here. I'm just gonna hit public and see if that does anything different. Says that all changes were saved. So, but yeah, it's still saying like live stream offline, but I am definitely like my thing is going. The display says it is capturing the things it is supposed to be capturing, but YouTube itself is not cooperating with me. So I'm just
wait a minute. For the stream, here I'm going to launch open my own live dashboard just so I can help troubleshoot with you.
Thank you.
Do you have it set to link to YouTube Gaming or to YouTube?
I mean, it's YouTube Gaming. That shouldn't like affect anything though. I've always done. Oh, here it is. I just refreshed the page and now it's doing something. So
still unavailable on my end.
Yeah, it's doing it now, and now I'm getting so it says, so maybe it's gonna be available to you in a second. I don't know why it would be doing any of this. But yeah, so it is definitely like the stream is slowly catching up with where we are. I don't know how much of the troubleshooting the audience is gonna get, but
Wait, I was able to access it, but I was able to access it from my subscription. So I think, like, I don't think it's private.
Well, it's not. I mean, it can't. Private would mean that only I could do it. Unlisted means that if you have the link, you can access it.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm accessing it without the link. I'm accessing it by opening up YouTube.
Right. I turned on public to see if it could do anything. Like that's
Okay.
because it was not working with unlisted. Like it wasn't even streaming, and now it's at least streaming. So you know what? This might be something we figure out in future months. But for right now, because it's working, and this is the first time I'm getting it to work, I think we might just have to press on here and then troubleshoot further in the future. Because it was not doing this earlier when I ran some tests, but then the moment I wanted to actually do it, like the little streaming platform wasn't even showing my display. It was like hiding it, and I had to like go find it, which it does a lot for no given reason. But yeah, so we're just gonna press on then. What do you say?
I said good. Sorry, I'm
You're fine.
on the Vern Tooley's Toy Story thread.
Oh, of course, yes. Do you want to? Well, that's not. I will do what this stream is supposed to be for, and I will answer questions while playing a game. Now, I did not get any specific listener questions, which is fine. But I guess that means, Jacob, you will have to ask me some questions, and I will answer them.
All right. I have a good set of questions. First question. So you're set on this new catchphrase, at least for the time being.
So the catchphrase in question that Jacob is mentioning. Also, hello everyone, welcome to the first Patreon Q&A live stream for TV's Kevin Lanigan. This is the live stream for September. Sorry that this was sort of last minute. I'm very much getting my job and life situations figured out right now. And because of that, I just, had to kind of do this at the last minute, unfortunately, which is not how I like to live my life. But my plan is to do all of them the first weekend of any given month. That is my goal. And yeah, so I'm just gonna be playing some Overwatch Deathmatch while all this is going on. But anyway, so the catchphrase that Jacob is referencing, Jacob, of course, TV's Kevin Lanigan fans will know from the Puff and Publishing podcast. It's Hitler. He's been on the Stone Zone proper twice. But the catchphrase he is referencing is my new acquired catchphrase, sup cucks, where particularly when I am playing a video game like Overwatch, or even just like starting talking to my friends, getting on for like a D&D stream, I will say sup cucks.
Yeah, it feels like it's almost like, I don't know if you're saying it when I'm not around, but I'm of the impression that it's a catchphrase exclusively made to mess with me.
Not made to mess with you, but since you express such hard opposition to it, it has definitely become associated with my relationship with you. And boy, everybody's seeing me not doing so great at Overwatch Deathmatch. I was never going to be able to do this particularly well while answering questions. But, yeah, so in earnestness, obviously it's something that gets said to, like, it's a catchphrase of the alt-right community, which I'm absolutely not affiliated with and not a member of.
You're doing it ironically to mock them.
I'm doing it ironically to mock them. Part of it came from watching H-Bomber Guy videos, and he is one of my favorite YouTubers. He just put out a great video today, the second half of, like, his rebuttal to people criticizing the new Bill Nye show for being, like, SJW trash, essentially. And so he brought up cucks a lot. But in particular, it came from an old series that Polygon used to do, where Griffin McElroy and Phil Kohler would just play Hearthstone every week. Griffin would always call Phil, like, he would welcome Phil by saying, "Phil, you beta cuck." And I thought that was funny, because Griffin also does not mean it in any sort of earnest way. And yeah, so that's just where that came from. And it bothered Jacob, or at least comedically it bothered Jacob. So I continued to do it.
Alright, so then follow-up question.
Yes.
Can I steal Hong Kong internet? It's your boy.
Oh,
you've done that in, like, your, like,
fuck,
little,
I forgot about Hong Kong internet.
Videos, and I absolutely love it.
You love Hong Kong internet? Did you know that is completely stolen from Justin Gurmaroth as Jeffrey Chaucer? on the Puff Publishing podcast where he says beep beep internet. Yeah, I love Honk. I totally I haven't made one of those videos in a while, so I forgot about
stealing it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep Honk Honk internet, but also feel free to use it. It can be like our call sign. Like this is the Talkback podcast family is free to use Honk Honk internet. Or beep beep internet.
I feel like let's also extend the invitation to your patrons. It'll be your like banner to fly under.
Yeah, you know what? For giving $1 or more to this Patreon campaign, and again, thank you all so much for that. I did not expect the kind of number. We're at approximately 8 times what I thought I could pull off on Patreon, and it's the first month, so I'm very happy with that. But yeah, since if you give $1 or more a month, I'll add that to the backers list. You can feel free to use Sup Cucks or Honk Honk internet. I'll add that to the $1 tier. Beautiful Bear Cubs, I believe, is the name of that one.
It was something like that.
They're all bear themed.
Yeah.
Because I came up with this entire Patreon campaign in a night and needed to call them something. And I was basing it a little bit off of Movies with Mikey, who like he has tacos as one, and he has like ice cream as another. It's all just like food stuff, junk food stuff. So I was like, I'll do a theme for mine, and I don't really have like. I didn't want to call anybody like Chris Nick Polini or Jane Austen or anything like that. The fans know what I'm talking about.
It was one of those things that I am a $10 donor, I believe.
Yeah, you are. Thank you. Top tier.
I think what pushed me actually from 5 to 10 was Ken's polar bears, I believe.
Yeah. Proud polars.
Yeah, I like polar bears more than grizzlies. I'm gonna give the extra 5 for the cooler title.
Yeah, something like that. It's great. The system works. Yeah. Oh, by the way, you give $10 a month, you get a special like Stone Zone episode. What do you want? Since I got you on the horn and I remember.
I'm not sure.
Because I have to do a rap for someone. I have to do Forrest Wharton, our friend and cinematographer.
Specially designed Stone
yeah, you get a special like 4 or 5 minute, preferably Stone Zone, but like I'll do whatever the fuck you want.
Oh, I was thinking it was gonna be like dedicated. I was like, oh, Kevin's hilarious. He's probably gonna make it one of the episodes where I'm in it.
Oh no, I know. I would like you're a legitimate donor. I will give you what you earned.
Well, I misunderstood that reward, so I'm not sure.
Okay, well, get back to me. You have all my contact information.
Okay, wait. Okay, here's another fun question for you in the streaming. You are TV's Kevin Lanigan.
I am indeed.
That's been like your online handle for quite some time.
Uh-huh.
If it wasn't TV's Kevin Lanigan, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a good one. Because I've always had a trouble with like my name, if that makes any sense. Because I like when I was wanting to be like a writer and director, like full time, that's all I wanted to do. I was like, man, my name is just not the same gravitas as like Martin Scorsese or Paul Thomas Anderson or something like that. Like, so I've always had trouble with Kevin Lanigan, and maybe that's just because I know me pretty well. But I was always wondering if I was gonna like change my name when I was much younger and I was writing like fantasy novels on weekends. I had a name I was using for a little while, KJ Vox. Obviously is a bad name and I would not have kept it in the long term, but I was using that as sort of like my J.K. Rowling moniker, a pseudonym. So I was using that for a little while. Recently I've been wondering like, oh, what's my fucking internet name gonna be? Because you gotta be like Foldable Human or H-Bomber Guy or ContraPoints. You know, like everybody has like a YouTube name, and it's very interesting to me that that's like what people call you. Like it's not your given name, it's your handle. And recently, like based on an old nickname that you and Chris Hawk gave me for like a week, LAN Party has sort of become the new one. But I wouldn't do that for like my performing life, my improv life, my stand-up life, or anything like that. But yeah, LAN Party, I guess, would be my online handle.
Ultimately, like, there's a lot of people who don't like have an online handle just because like websites require you make one, but that they don't like formally go by it.
That's true.
And I think that might suit you more because you are someone who has like your hand in like a million different cookie jars at all times.
And brand recognition is important.
Yeah, like when people like follow your content, they are following Kevin.
Yeah.
Like, except no substitutes.
Right. And there aren't even a lot of famous Kevins to get me mixed up with.
All right. I'm also playing Deathmatch.
Yeah.
And I got super lucky because oh, never mind. Luck ran out. I got lucky previously because the soldier that was about to kill me was instead killed instead.
Nice.
And the person who killed them has elected to spare me.
That's excellent. Oh, fuck. I'm glad this my getting just wrecked in this second match that I'm doing is documented forever and ever, and that this will exist for all of posterity.
Just the excuse that you are working, you're like doing multiple things.
I am. Well, that's why, you know, it's something that I see all the time in the comments of like fucking Game Grumps videos, and I love Grumps. Is that people are like, they're so bad at this game. I was like, you ever tried to like be entertaining nonstop and
like, not even just
and play a game?
Just keep that stream of consciousness going is difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm having a lot of trouble with it right now. And like, you know, if you're playing a video game with your friends and you are trying to beat it, there are times where you're like, no, I have like stop talking to me. I have to beat a really hard part. And not that I'm particularly good at Overwatch, but I'm not doing a Q&A. But yeah, there's that.
Slightly better.
I'm slightly better. It's like if I'm a D- right now, I'm a C+ ordinarily. Any more questiones about past projects, future projects? Oh god.
All right, okay, wait here. You right now, what would your primary focus is your performance pieces in your podcast, I would say. Right?
Yes.
But you have like dabbled in a lot of various different things. You've been working on musical.
That's right. Which there's some movement on that, which I'm very happy about.
You've written short films and projects.
That's right.
Like, you have a lot of different things, but now that you've been kind of focusing primarily on your podcast and your performance pieces, is there any project that you're super excited about but can't really give attention to right now?
Oh, a ton. And that just comes with like working full time and doing all these side things.
The one that right now is something that it's something that you really want to do, but it is like, it's not even like, even if you had like 3 months off, it still wouldn't be able to get done kind of project. Like,
well, I think the easy and simple answer to that is Doom to You Season 2. Because everyone involved really wants to do it. When we sat down to do Doom to You, my web series, for anybody unfamiliar, we didn't think we were going to do more than a season. We thought it was just going to be like a fun 5-episode, like, let's tell a story, a complete story, and never continue it, and it'll be like a movie in episodic form. But I had more fun doing that show than just about anything else I've ever done. With the exception of maybe Puffin, because Puffin is just pure joy. But everybody involved in Doom to You was like, towards the end, we were like, do we want to do more of this show? And, you know, you're on set for so many hours that you start, like, talking to people and spitballing things and what things might look like, or what the future might look like. And, wow, I got the bottom of a deathmatch. Yes. And so you start spitballing, and we came up with a bunch of ideas for what a season 2 would look like, and we're all really excited about it. Like, the whole cast is game to come back on. I certainly am. Vern certainly is. Forrest certainly is. And we're all talking about it like it is definitely going to happen, which is excellent and very, very cool. But, you know, there is so much that would go into doing that show. Like, the first time we did it, it took us 3 months or 4 months or whatever it was just to shoot the damn thing between everybody's schedules. And to do what we want to do with season 2, we would sort of need to like block out that chunk of time, and basically be doing the show full time during that time. And that's a whole amount of money that we don't have access to at current. And there'd be flights involved and hotel coordination. We haven't even written the damn thing. Like, we haven't sat down and even like truly blocked out exactly what it would look like. And we have all these ideas, but some of them are completely unfeasible. So it's like, how do we pare down what we want to do versus what we can do? We haven't done any of that. So even if I had like 3 months, that would just be like writing the damn thing. That wouldn't be the full Monty, because we were writing that show, and you know, Vern and I were both students at the time, and we were both doing other things in clubs and all that good shit. And that took from February into, I mean, I didn't finish writing the last episode until we were in like July or August of that shoot, which started in June, like, which is crazy. And we wanted to do what Game of Thrones essentially does, where they write the entire season, and then while they're in production, they do not think about the writing at all. Like, the scripts are done and they are set in stone. That's what we wanted to do, but things got in the way, and we only could, in theory, end this show once. So that is, yeah. So we wanted to do it right, essentially. And yeah, so if I had all that time and still couldn't get it done, to be Doomed to You Season 2.
All right. A similar question. A project you're passionate about, but you don't think will ever come to fruition.
Ooh, that's a good one. Because there's all sorts of projects, and some of them I cannot talk about because they are, like, secrets and in the works. Or some of them are, like, I could say that they won't happen, but they might happen, that I've been talking about with some people. The one that might never happen is an idea for, I mean, it's essentially a talk show, but it would be, like, there would be a core group of, like, 4 comedians, and I would be one of them, and each of us would take a turn hosting the show as ourselves. So, you know, if we ran Monday through Thursday, I would host on Tuesday, for instance, and the other 3 would be playing characters or doing remote segments or something like that, and there would be a guest on every episode, and they would get to participate in, like, the weird character-based improv and all the good stuff. And that would sort of be, like, that's a project I would love to do, but I don't have that group of people. I don't have that network available to me. I don't have a lot of what I would need for that. So I don't know if that one is ever going to come to be. If I had to pick one. There's also like some movies and stuff that I've always wanted to do, but who knows if I'll ever get the chance to do.
Okay. All right. I kind of like this line of questioning, so sure. I'm going to try thinking of some more questions for it.
Sure. Woo! I'm
actually having a really good deathmatch as McCree, which is rare, because I suck as McCree.
Well, you know, it's high noon. It's high noon somewhere.
McCree is probably, like, hands down my worst hero.
Really?
Yeah.
He was mine for a little while until I got a cool skin for him, and it inspired me to do better.
The thing is, McCree is the hero I want to be good at more than anything.
Because you like Matt Mercer?
Matt Mercer.
Yeah.
Who, for those of you unfamiliar, Matt Mercer is my hero. Like, he's the DM for Critical Role. He's the reason I'm DMing currently. Like, if it wasn't for Matt Mercer and Critical Role, Total Party Chaos wouldn't exist.
Ah! That's true. Inspiration.
You know, and he's someone, like, he has a massive heart, and he's the kind of creator I inspire to be.
Yeah.
Both talented, yet humble in that talent.
From all you've said, seems like a real nice fella.
But yeah, so he voices McCree in Overwatch, which makes me really want to be good at McCree. But thing is, I'm bad at McCree.
You'll get it.
I just got a double kill. Do I see a triple? Possibly, actually. Right after I said I was... Oh, nope, no triple. Alright. Oh, okay, well, there's another question.
Sure.
Kevin, you are going to voice a hero in Overwatch. What are they? Design them now.
Oh shit. Okay. Wow. Overwatch has such a diverse cast of characters. Let me think about first who we do not have.
Think more so, like, I feel like thinking about what they don't have is like you're designing this from like what's the best character for you to play, not so much the character Overwatch needs right now.
Okay. The character Overwatch deserves, but not necessarily the one it needs right now. I understand. Batman jokes. So,
Batman isn't a joke.
Batman is very serious business. Yeah, I love it. Oops. Sorry, I was pulling open the chat in case we get any questions in the chat. Spoilers, we do not. But that. Oh, I'm thinking of like an 80s businessman, like a real smooth guy, and he's got like his ult has something to do with like opening up a briefcase or calling in an airstrike or some, you know what I'm saying? Like a smooth talking, smooth criminal, a white collar criminal.
Will this be a divorce? Not divorce. Will this be a defense or support-based hero?
Because they're not an attack. I like the idea of a support-based hero. Because number one, I think Overwatch could use some more support. We're not talking about necessarily game design, what Overwatch needs right now. But I think they could use some more supports. And what is more supporting than a lot of cash? Just a hell of a lot of cash. And he'd be called, like, Big Money. Or, I don't know. He would not be called Big Money. But maybe he'd be called Big Money. That's sort of where I'm leaning right now.
Alright.
Oh, Christ.
In the Overwatch lore, would they be a hero or a villain?
Villain. There's no way that guy's a good guy. Maybe they're funding Talon, the organization. Whatever. I got that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Yeah, maybe they're, like, one of the big money movers behind Talon. So that's what I'm parking at right now.
All right.
Smooth 80s businessman. I like that. I would love to see some kind of like swamp thing in like is that I don't know, like some kind of just like straight up monster because you've got some monstrous folks, but I want to see like a monster. I don't know if I'm right to play that sort of swamp thing, but that's what I would like to see.
Alright. Alright, Kevin, you have a lot of acting experience.
I do!
Tell me, and I know you've auditioned for quite a few plays and film projects.
Yes.
What is one role that you didn't get that you really wanted to get?
Oh, that's a good question. One role, well, I auditioned for Star Wars The Force Awakens, and getting one of those would have been pretty fucking cool.
Alright, fair enough.
I think, I don't even give a shit which one. Give me one.
Alright.
Yeah, there's that for you. I don't know if you knew that. Oh yeah, you were there. Fuck.
I was there, yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't so much an audition, that was some like pre-auditioning, like auditioning the city.
It was a cattle call. Still counts.
Yeah.
I always count it anyway. Don't tell nobody. On this very public Q&A stream.
In the event that if you don't count it, I imagine like your numbers dropping significantly.
Right. So I'm just gonna go with that one, eh?
All right. Who have I played in Battle Match yet? All right. Here's a fun question. Who are you currently playing?
Junkrat. Junkrat has sort of been my. It's been a very stressful time in the life of TV's Kevin Lanigan. And Junkrat is just a fucking cut loose, throw bombs at stuff kind of character, so that's been what I've been rocking. I've had some success in Deathmatch with Junkrat. Ah! Yep, that's who I'm playing right now.
Cool.
Yeah. Any questions about the projects that I'm currently working on? Because we talked a lot about hypotheticals. We talked a lot about potentialities.
Right. Like the current things where they're working on. How much am I able to reveal?
Let's see, because there's the Stone Zone. There is the Puffin Publishing Podcast.
Yeah, let's just do a flat rule. What projects that aren't currently out am I able to talk about?
That aren't currently out.
Yeah,
I don't. Right.
Think, like, there's my project TPC, which is like still like it's public enough that like the variants of it I don't mind talking about.
We do a public like stream of it every week. Like it's an out there kind of project.
Yeah.
And it exists.
Well, I am currently working on the audio version of it to make it easier for new fans or even current fans to enjoy a massive 4-hour D&D stream.
Right, which is a niche product.
So,
even when you're playing it, it's a niche product.
We just did another thing for that the other day that went fairly well.
Yeah.
So I'll keep that under wraps for now, but because that's hopefully going to be out sooner than the edited down versions, actually.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool. You can mention Poke Musical. You can mention. I think the world is not ready for pitching post. I've had some trouble getting everybody to commit to that, so maybe not that one.
The main issue with pitching post, I think, is that the burden of like the final step is entirely on like 2 members of the pitching post group.
Right.
And those 2 members just don't got the time for it.
Yeah, and I know like some young artists, but they're all in school right now, and that would just, you know, outsource it. And then you got people asking why you play favorites, and I don't need that kind of stress in my life.
Yeah.
So that one's, it's not that it's off limits, it's just I have no further information about it.
Yeah. It's not that it's off limits, but rather there's just nothing to talk about.
Nothing to say.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then Doom to You Season 2, we already talked about it a little bit. I have no, like, further news about it. It's as close as it's ever been. Because Vern Tooley is making pet turtles. Again, there's a lot of coordination that needs to happen to make that show a go. A lot of coordination and a lot of money. So if you like the show and you want to see more of it, spread it around. And it'll incentivize it getting done all that much quicker. But yeah. So Stone Zone and Puffin essentially is what we got the most info on. Or if you have questions about Total Party Chaos, like.
Well, here I do have a question about Total Party Chaos. Not to like.
Total Party Chaos, for those unfamiliar, is our weekly D&D stream that we do on Jacob's YouTube.
Right now, you are playing Anna. And Anna's been a very interesting character. She's kind of fallen into the position of becoming like Total Party Chaos's title character.
So far.
Which I think is super interesting given just the nature of Anna as a character. I mean, for those unfamiliar, Anna is a gender non-binary 12-year-old ranger.
Yes. Who is now a 25-year-old ranger through some shenanigans, but for the lion's share of the show, a 12-year-old
And
ranger.
the thing is, even though you are physically that much older, and there is like a little bit of like, hey, how does magic work? It really does boil down to that's who you are. And like, you know, like even if you are aged up, you are still that. And this Tracer is running away from me just to die to someone else. That is, there we go.
That was just rude.
It's actually very nice because the Tracer went and nearly killed someone else, so I got 2 kills after all my hard work.
Delightful.
Thank you, Trace.
God damn. On the bottom again. I'm playing some hard folks. That or I'm bad at the video game Overwatch, which is also entirely possible.
Little column A, little column B.
Yeah.
But the question is, if you weren't playing Ana, who would you be playing?
Oh boy. That's a good question. Because I've been trying to do I'm trying to do some different role-playing characters. Not that anybody besides like you has an intimate knowledge of my role-playing history, as you have DM'd almost every role-play game I've ever been a part of. I'm trying to do some.
I feel like I've been a player.
Yeah, exactly. I think you've been involved in you've been involved in all but one. I think of my
That's right, and it was the one you told me about where like the party didn't realize that Barb could do more than yell insult.
Yeah, it was like I was in a play a couple summers ago, and one of the guys in the play was an avid D&D player. He was a dungeon master. He was like, "Why don't you come on by this weekend?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" And it was a crowd full of just like, the typical Dungeons and Dragons crowd. They every single fucking one of them was a barbarian or a fighter or something of that effect. And I wanted to come in because my default for many years has sort of been a bard or someone that uses charisma, someone that uses that to some greater or lesser capacity, the party's mouth. And I wanted to move away from that, but this party necessitated me going to it because they absolutely did not have anything of that nature. And I blew their fucking minds by like getting an entire mob of bad guys to stop attacking us through the power of song and magic, which was when I started playing D&D essentially my first reaction when given these charisma powers. And they would have never thought of it, and I feel pretty confident in saying that. So like blowing the minds of an entire room was kind of fun, but I have been trying to move away from like, Kevin Lanigan in a fantasy setting, which was what I was doing for a long time.
So the thing is, if I may like just give some input as like your DM, I think it's nice to explore, but there are things that people have fun with and people who they're good at. Right now, you are playing a ranger who, the ranger class is very combat oriented.
Yeah.
Yet you have, character-wise, shied away almost entirely from combat.
Right.
And that is in itself a very interesting decision, but I think it also definitely changes the narrative of Kevin Lanigan, the role player, because combat's never been for you. And I think.
Yeah, I've done some combat characters. There was Kadra.
But with Kadra, even, you very quickly became a diplomacy-based character. And while you had fun with combat was not your biggest selling point for the party.
Yeah. No, that's true. I could kill a motherfucker, but it wasn't my sole contribution. Yeah. I killed the shit out of a dragon once, and that was awesome. No, you're absolutely right. And I just think that's part of the it comes from video games as well, of like I have an issue when like Uncharted specifically, and I think they're like well-made games, but my brain cannot separate like the cutscene from the action scene. And like Nathan Drake is a sociopath. Like he's a psychopath. He killed 200 people and never stopped smiling the whole time. Like it doesn't make sense. Like if I'm playing a character and they kill more than 10 people in a short span of time, that character has fundamentally changed for me in a way that the game of Dungeons & Dragons is not particularly built to accommodate for. There's some stuff there, but essentially the player's default like interaction with the world most of the time is shooting or stabbing or magic fighting or whatever. Like it's fighting.
And I agree with you. That's why like my DM style definitely shies away from combat for the most part.
It just destroys it for me.
Yeah, but the thing with it is also, like take me for an instance.
I do.
I am one of the worst D&D players.
You have very specific stuff.
I'm a good dungeon master. I am one of the worst players. I am a monster. My last DM, my last regular DM, informed me that they stopped planning sessions and they just had me talk to someone important because I would annoy them to the point that conflict was created.
That was Chris, right? That was John Travolta.
I was a bard. I was a bard that was bad at barding, and I love the bard class. But the thing is, I've come to terms with I'm not a good bard. I'm a good barbarian.
Yeah, you're a great barbarian.
When I play barbarian classes, I make compelling characters and they're fun when I play as a barbarian. And the thing is, as much as I love the bard class, I always have more fun playing well as a barbarian than bad as a bard.
Yeah. I just think you're just very good at it. Like I still remember the Hurgling. I don't remember even my own character from the Star Wars campaign we did. I remember the Hurgling, though. Like, I remember it. That was like 6 fucking years ago. I don't remember, like, our last D&D campaign, but I remember the Hurgling. Like, you can just build a really good barbarian that I care about. And, like, we all got skills. Or, like, that was the campaign, because that was John Travolta, your famed bard character. That was the point where I, as, like, a combat character, a character that had a complete disconnect from reality and was a bona fide crazy person, having been shot through the head, I became our charisma character. Like,
yeah, and that's always like the thing. Like, as much as I definitely encourage you, if you want to keep exploring, but don't explore characters for the sake of exploration.
Yeah, I wanted to see if something else felt good. It's like an art class. Like, you get those assignments that are like, you're gonna do something different. We're gonna practice this style, see if you like it. But yeah, I just think, and even in my comedy, like, I'm a talker. I'm not as much of a physical guy. Like, that's just kind of my, I talk a lot. As you can tell, audience. Yeah, so if I wasn't playing the character I'm playing, I'd probably just be another mouthpiece. That's kind of my thing.
Alright. We got any questions in the chat?
Nope. Too many, but yeah, there is none. So here's a question I've gotten a lot, just IRL, and might as well go on the record with it. The question is, and it's an understandable one, hey, why the podcast Can We Get Emma Stone to Listen to This? Where did that come from? Why do you do it? Things along that line. Short answer, I do not fundamentally remember where that idea came from. I know it had something to do with, like, listening to something and the idea occurred to me, but I could not have less of a concept of where that idea came from, and that sucks. I wish I had a good answer for people. I just don't know or remember. I just remember one day it came to me, and it became something I desperately wanted to do. Definitely planned on it originally being like a duo podcast, like I would have a partner or something, but when I moved to New York and didn't have the money to do the things I moved here to do, I needed to figure out something else, and I needed to, like, still have a creative outlet, so that I wasn't just, like, sad and broke all the time, and that's the show that came to me. That is that is what I found in this great big beautiful world. Yes. Check in my.
Okay.
Just so you know, it is almost 7. I don't know when you have to be somewhere.
I will probably have to hop off in the next 12 minutes.
Okay.
But I'm good till then if you want to keep going with the stream.
Okay. Oh, by the way, it is almost 7 my time, in case that was. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was only planning on this being like half an hour, an hour. I don't know how long we've been doing it. But it feels like definitely somewhere in that.
Yeah.
Almost an hour.
How personal do you want to get with these questions in the Q&A?
Like,
do you want this to be... Is these questions for Kevin the person or TP's Kevin Land?
Both, definitely, but I will not tell anybody else's story. Like, I will, I know you are not going to ask about ex-girlfriends, but, like, for the record, if it's something that would embarrass another human being that would appreciate it, I am not going to do it.
I was more so thinking, as your friend, I'm interested in current romantic endeavors or interests. If you wanted to go into those, if there is any to go into.
There has definitely been nothing new. I've been single for like a year and a half, and part of that was like self-imposed. Was like, I know I'm going to be moving across the country in the spring, or I knew that. That was me talking from the perspective of the past. So I didn't want anything that was going to tie me down to St. Louis further. Like, I knew I had to leave. I knew it was something I had to do. And I've seen 100 times, like, people with creative aspirations stay in their hometown and don't actually go pursue that film degree, or don't actually go pursue that, like, career in comedy that they might even be successful at if they actually went and did it. And that is not shade on any particular, like, person or group of people. I've just seen it 100 times. And
it's just that you've seen people who get involved with a relationship and put that, like, over their creative aspirations.
Yeah.
But you do not want to be one of those people.
No,
your creative aspirations are more important than those relationships, at least at this point.
At this point in my life, and you know what? If I can do both at the same time, then fucking gravy. But currently, you know, I've been looking since I've been in New York City. I don't know a lot of people and haven't met a lot of people because I've been very, very broke. So there's a lot of me staying in my apartment that has happened. And, you know, I've been on Tinder and Bumble without a lot of success on either one of those, but that's not unexpected for me. I've never had a lot of luck on dating sites of any stripe or variety.
Well, did you make your profile your D&D stats?
No, that was you. You did that. That was you. You did that. There are some people that I am interested in that I have known for a while, but, you know, I don't...
Things that you want to vocalize on the
public Q&A stream that they might very well watch. I don't want to, like, make that known, but there are some folks that I could definitely see myself dating. And, you know, I'm in this brave new city, and sometime soon, if these, like, jobs come through, I will be out there actually doing the thing that I love, and that's often how people meet people. So, yeah, not without hope. I just, currently, nothing to report, sailor.
All right. I'm trying to think of a really good question to help you end your stream on. Something that'll give you a really fun answer.
A real stream ender. One for the highlight reel.
All right. If you weren't a content creator.
Oh boy. Okay.
If that was not what you did, if you didn't make, like, the podcast, the plays, perform, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
What would you do?
That is a good question. Because this thing has ever been the only answer. Like, not necessarily exactly what I'm doing now, obviously. But, you know, I have only ever wanted to tell stories, and particularly funny stories that make people feel feelings. But if I was not doing anything like this, I think I would want to join, like, FEMA or something like that, like, be going out and helping people in some capacity or another, and maybe that would have been, like, a teacher, because I could have been a pretty good teacher, and I might still be one day, teaching the kids my wares of the know-hows. I could definitely do something like that. Yeah. So something like a teacher or someone that goes out and does, like, disaster relief, or maybe a doctor, but probably not a doctor. That is earnestly, like, what I would want to do if I was not doing this. So keep funding my Patreon so I don't have to go work for FEMA, essentially.
Yeah, screw the kids. They don't need a good teacher. Fund Patreon.
Fund Patreon! Yeah, because, like, you know, everybody tells you to have a backup plan, but if you got a backup plan, you're more likely to go do that backup plan. So right now, I'm whole hogging this. I'm whole road hogging this.
Speaking of Roadhog, I just had a very fun moment where I'm playing Ana currently, and I keep putting this Roadhog to sleep, and then running, like, not touching him, and enemies who are coming to kill me instead kill the sleeping Roadhog.
Haha. Boy, Ana and Deathmatch just sounds hard.
Mostly, I'm playing it because this is going to be my last deathmatch game,
Right.
and I'm really just goofing off.
And
Every
you're like-
time I put someone to sleep, I
Yeah.
just walk away.
Oh, and you're like, why not? Sure, I get that. So yeah, because my match is going to be done here in a second, and that means it's time to log off this stream. So thank you to Jacob Kelleher for joining me on this. I really appreciate it. You made it so I didn't have to think of my own questions to ask myself, which is very nice of you. Thank you to all my generous Patreon donors who are making this weird life of mine possible. I know I'm not like making a living off of Patreon yet, and I don't think that's ever really going to happen, but you make it even remotely possible to do, you sweet Patreon donors, you. And thank you for joining me on this weird, wacky journey of mine. That's all I got, I suppose.
All right. One more thing. You said you currently have your Patreon donors named the Bears, just because you needed something as you were setting up late last night. Is that something that you intend to eventually go back and like revisit? And if so, do you have any thoughts on what your fan base will be referred to as?
Oh, no, right now I don't have any names. The LAN fans seems like a pretty easy one. Or TV's Kevin Fanigans or something like that. That's a little boxy. That one doesn't come out the mouth very good. But yeah, I don't know. The Bears are already like a football team, and I just needed something, and I like bears, and there are a lot of different bears as opposed to raccoons, which are my favorite animal, but there's a ton of variety to your raccoon. Yep, I got no larger plans to capitalize on the bear-based fan base that I am slowly accruing. And with that, this has been the Patreon donor stream for September 2017. Be good to yourselves and each other.
And be sure to send in those questions.